I can. An editor is compiling a textbook containing essays by several different authors. The book will contain essays by Lind, Knight, or Jones, but it will not contain essays by all three. If the textbook contains an essay by Knight, then it will also contain an essay by Jones.
All right. So here we know that, 1 second. Okay, so we know that the book is going to contain essays by either Lind, Knight, or Jones, right? But it's not going to contain essays by all three. So if we have essays by, and then it says, if the textbook contains an essay by Knight, then it will be by Jones. So this is conditional. We don't know that's for sure going to happen. But if this were to happen, let's make a prediction here. If this did happen, what do we know to be true? Do you know, Amanda?
That would mean Lind wouldn't be a part of it, right?
Excellent. Okay, so what happens, just hypothetically speaking, if we knew that one of the textbooks was by Lind? Would we know anything else?
We know that it could not contain, would it not have Knight and Jones, since Knight and Jones have to be together?
Well, if Knight, then Jones. If L, but could, if we do have L, could it be with K?
It could be. It doesn't say it can't be, but it just says it can't be all three.
Right, but what happens when we have K?
Oh, then we need J. So
this actually couldn't happen, right?
Yeah, but it could happen with J, right?
Yes, it could. This could happen. It's not for sure, but it could. Excellent. All right. So go ahead, everybody, and read through these answer choices and go ahead and put your answer in the chat. All right, so here, I'll go ahead and start with, so this is a must be true. So this means it has to happen. It's not that it could happen, it has to happen. And so we're going to go ahead and start with E. And E says the textbook will contain an essay by Lind. Well, we don't know that. It could contain a textbook by Lind, but we don't know it for certain. So we can cross that one off. All right, Giovanna, I think you had, or Giovanna, I believe you had D. Why is G wrong?
Because and I was explaining, I was choosing between A and D, and the reason why I X'd out D, because the textbook contains.
So if we have L,
it's saying you have to have.
Excellent, but really, Lind could just be by itself, right?
Right.
Excellent. It could be true. D could be true, but it doesn't have to be true.
Right.
All right. I believe, Amanda, do you have C?
Yeah.
Right. What about C?
C is wrong because it could be true, but it doesn't have to be true.
Excellent. Because it could, it could contain a textbook or a textbook by Knight. All right, Amani?
B, I say it's wrong because it says only one of Lind, Knight, and Jones, and I think of it as Knight has to go with Jones and Jones has to go with Knight.
Right, like it only one.
Lind is not in the picture.
Like it could be two, right? Like it doesn't have to be only one. There could be two. And then, so A is going to be our textbook because it says like, if the textbook contains an essay by Lind. So if there's Lind, then it will not be with Knight. Absolutely. Because if there's Lind cannot be with Knight because we actually kind of predicted this, because if there's Knight, then there's J and all three of them can't be together. So Lind and K can never be together here. And so that's why A is our answer.
The reason why when I did this problem set, I didn't select A because I thought I was down to A and E, surprisingly, but I thought that because they didn't mention anything about Jones that it couldn't be correct, but E doesn't mention Knight or Jones either, but it just felt.
Do you see why it works now?
Yes, but I just wish they would have put Jones and I would have been a little bit more comfortable.
Yes, yes, you have to understand your conditional chains and how these rules play with each other for sure.
So even though they didn't say Jones, it still must be true because
like essentially what this is saying is that L and K can never be together, and that's true. Like we don't, it's not saying that L will for sure be with J, or it's not saying that L will be on its own. Either of these is possible. All A is saying is that L cannot be with K, and that has to be true.
That has to be true. Oh, wow.